This is Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't usually play a ton of Assassin's Creed on my channel, mostly just because the style and pacing of the game doesn't lend itself to the kind of video that I do, but I'm liking this one enough I really want to showcase it at least once. The reason why, this game sometimes I have trouble getting into Assassin's Creed games is no fault of the games at all. The games tend to take sort of a very long, slow burn process to introduce the characters, introduce the world, and immerse you in what's going on, which is great. It's one of the reasons to play an Assassin's Creed game, because they're so good at immersing you in a new place and in a character's life. My problem is, because I'm just constantly so busy and so stressed out and so worried about my time and the next thing I'm going to do, even though I really love and appreciate what Assassin's Creed is doing, I get impatient while I'm waiting for the story to take off and for like sort of the proper gameplay to begin. And I have that problem with a lot of games. There's a lot of games where like, the demo, for instance, will have a lot of, like exposition up front, a lot of cutscenes and a lot of things like that, and I often will just quit those demos before I even get to the gameplay, because I'm like, if you're not giving me the gameplay, I have no idea why I'm spending my time here. But with Assassin's Creed, I do know what I'll be getting, and I do have a lot of trust for the franchise to provide a lot of fun at the same time as providing sort of this like very rich story. And so I make myself sit down. I'm like, hey, Jeffrey, calm down. You're playing a slower paced game. It's okay. You're going to get a lot out of this. And generally, I tend to be right about that with Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed Shadows takes place in Japan. I think a lot of people know the basic premise, but I'm just saying it anyway. I think when the developers were imagining, they've been putting off Japan for a very long time. Fans have been asking them for a game set in Japan for a very, very long time, and they keep putting it off. And I think they were kind of putting it off because Japan is such a good place for Assassin's Creed. I think they just really wanted to get it right. They wanted to do a game that felt like the definitive Assassin's Creed in Japan. And so you'll note that the way the game is structured, it's structured around two protagonists. And I think the reason they did this was, in the West, there are two sort of combat traditions from Japan that are very popular throughout pop culture. One is the samurai and the other is the ninja, but they're very different from each other. And so they structured the game around having two characters. And so let me have a look at sort of the what do they call this? The journal-y sort of page. So there are two sort of main stories that we're following. Yasuke, who is who you start the game with. We have a very brief time with him initially, though I'm assuming we'll be coming back to him sometime very soon. And you've got Naoe, who is our ninja character. So Yasuke is our samurai, Naoe is our ninja. We spent most of the time so far at the beginning of the game with Naoe sort of learning her backstory and why she is motivated to go after these villains, the Onryo. So the Onryo have done something terrible to her and her people, and she is on a quest for revenge. And right now, I've targeted this guy as the first guy I'm to go after. He was injured by my father in combat. I feel like he's the one I have the most unfinished business with. But also, I think he might actually be the reason I'm alive. I'm not sure, but I think it was him who decided that he wanted to see me suffer and therefore left me for dead instead of killing me. So I want to, make him realize that mistake as soon as I can. But the thing that's interesting is, while, I don't know where most of these people are or who most of them are at first, the very beginning of the game gives me two of them to go after, and I get to decide what order I want to do it in. And I'm feeling like that this is a preview, hopefully, of the way the larger game is going to be structured, that I'll get information about these people and I'll be able to go after them in an order that I choose. The game also has some very loose base building in it. It feels like what they're trying to do is establish you as not just an individual going through a series of challenges, but you are an operation. You are, building a network, and you are trying to, accomplish something that is self-motivated. And that's something I haven't really seen a lot in Assassin's Creed. Usually Assassin's Creed, it might have a branching story, or might have a story that's got, like, parallel tracks to it, or I wouldn't say branching story, actually. They usually end in the same place. But sometimes they'll have parallel tracks to stories, sometimes they'll have side quests. But having it be this wide open, where I get to kind of decide how I want to run my operation, feels new to me. And so I haven't spent much time with it. I don't know how it pays it off, but I love the setup. So anyway, right now I am Naoe. And I have dressed myself up in my face-covering ninja garb. And I'm headed out towards... I need to remind myself what this guy's name is. What is this guy's name? His name is, he's the fatherless monk, and his name is Kyonyo. Okay, so I'm going after Kyonyo, but along the way, I think they do have, we're still in the early game, so I think they've got some other missions set up to sort of teach me how the game works.
直江
モンタか。
伊賀で大勢殺されたというによう落ち延びることができたのう。伊賀は全くひどいありさまになってしもうた。皆で里を離れここを見つけたんじゃ。
中へ。ここに住めばいい。
ここで食いぶちが稼げるならな。
ここを一つの里のように皆が助け合う場所にしたい。
ならわしらはその里を守る目となろう。方々の様子を探り皆が安心して暮らせるようにな。
まことよう来てくれた。
Oh, hey, did I mention that this game has something called immersion mode, which is a mode where all of the characters speak the languages they would actually be speaking in their historical context. Not literally, because we've got the modern versions of all these languages. I mean, I think this is like during Shakespearean times when English also would have been pretty different. So I'm imagining these characters would actually be speaking earlier versions of Japanese, Portuguese, whatever other languages show up. But it's still kind of cool that, they can basically, if you're willing to look at subtitles, and that's actually part of the challenge of this game, is the fact that I really want to be immersed in this world, and I want to be playing with the Japanese and Portuguese and any whatever other authentic languages show up. But sometimes I'm in the middle of combat or something, and there's an aside from a character that I'm meant to learn something from, and I can't pick it up with my ears because I don't speak the language. And so I'm enjoying the immersion of this. But I can see why they make it an option, because I can imagine, there's a lot of situations where somebody might want to be able to pick up information on the side while focusing on something else. So those guys offered to be my scouts, and I think I've already actually made use of some scouts, and so I don't have any jobs for them to do, but the way that I used scouts was kind of interesting. So we've got our world map here, which is mostly like, it looks like it's sort of been loosely brushed onto onto a piece of paper, which is kind of neat, until you actually explore a place, and then it gets replaced with like an actual, what looks like a satellite photo, a 3D satellite photo of the terrain. By the way, when you invert the right stick, as I do for the camera, it also inverts it for zoom controls on the map, which I find bizarre. But that's why I'm going to keep zooming the wrong direction the first time I open the map, because my look is inverted. So I'm pushing the map away. All right. But what I did was, you can see that on the left on my objectives. It says, Kyonyo is south of Sakai. He's west of the Izumi coast, and he's at Gansenji Temple. And so I had that information, and I actually had to send scouts over here to find where this blue marker was. So if I had run out of scouts or something, I would have less information about where to find this guy. And I've actually forgotten how to use, you can see my sort of, I've got two scouts in the lower left corner right now. I've actually forgotten how I used them. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's X button for scout objective. So if I hit the X button, then I can send some scouts to a place, and I've already done it, so it's not going to do anything. But what it does is it opens up, it gives you information on that part of the map, and if you've got an actual mission objective there, it highlights it for the first time. So that's me filling you in on a bunch of stuff that you would have known if you'd watched me play through the first couple hours of this game. But because that first couple hours is just so heavy with cutscenes and things, it just felt like, I don't know, the kind of thing that doesn't really fit the vibe of my stream. I don't usually... I used to stream. The vibe of my channel. I tend to focus as much as I can on gameplay rather than on cutscenes. Okay, so right now I'm on foot, but I don't have to be on foot. I can ride a horse. This is Kiri, my horse. And just look at how well realized this world is. I mean, it is so detailed. The atmospherics are amazing, and by the way, look how dense the foliage is. This is like, as a game developer, like one of the first things I did as soon as I sort of got the freedom to explore was like, what's it like in here? I started running into the forest, And like they have just filled the forest with plant life. Like, this is not what I expect from a video game. I expect that if there's foliage this thick, it's impassable to me. It's just like a wall that I can't get past, and there's nothing behind it. But like every inch of this terrain that isn't really, civilized by human beings is covered in dense foliage. And I'm like, how are they making the game performant with all of this foliage? It's crazy. And it makes this world seem more ancient because there's more parts of it that are just like untouched by humankind. A lot of places, like one of the things that I think people are struggling with in England, for instance, is the fact that so much of the forest land was either cut down entirely or replaced by intentionally managed forests, which just have very different ecosystems from natural forests. There may not be any natural forests left in England, and they're trying to sort of recreate them and bring them back. There's very few untouched. I think there's like one place in Europe that has got like true untouched forests. And so to be in a place like this where I'm actually seeing untouched forests that have the level of just dense undergrowth that you'd expect, it's mind-boggling, partly just because I don't see that in real life very often, and partly because it's so hard to make that in a video game. Okay, so we've got a meditation spot here, and I believe that meditation spots tend to give you flashback side quests. So now I gotta think, do I want to do a flashback side quest right now? I think I kind of do. I probably need the tutorial. So we'll get a little window into Naoe's past and training, I believe. Oh, but first I've got to do this mini game. So I have to match this rhythm, and the hints slowly fade away. So I gotta focus for a sec. That's more difficult than it looks, actually. When the hints go away and you're just relying on rhythm and memory to hit the buttons right. At least they line it up with the directional buttons on the controller so far.
Ohayo, Otto.
眠れなんだか。
心配はいらん。ただ、昨べは寒かったがな。
お前がうなされているのが聞こえた。夕べもその前の晩もな。戦の恐怖は誰にも等しく訪れる。お前がその恐怖を味わわずに済むよう父として密かに願っておった。
信勝は里を滅ぼしに来たんじゃ。私だけ逃げるなどせん。
そこで考えたのだ。こたびのわしらの勝利は長続きすまい。織田信長は敗北という言葉を知らぬ。慈悲という言葉もな。これまでのような稽古では足りぬ。より厳しくいくぞ。今日は最も恐るべき戦道具の手ほどきをする。
なぎなたか？
いや、違う。来い、直江。 息を深く吸え。
座禅を組むのか？
日頃の座禅とは違う。これは己の身の危うき時、恐れに心が蝕まれし時に心と体を守る術だ。
くじ切りか？
己の行いを悔い、思い煩うは戦時には無用のこと。その念を払う方をお前に授けよう。ゆうべお前を苦しめたのは寒さではない。
弱いと思われとうなかった。
己に向き合えぬことこそが弱さ。己を偽るな、わしにもな。さて、何を見てうなされたのだ。
思い出すのは難しいが、私は一人じゃった。そして血と赤い月が見えた。
己が殺めた者どもが生き絶えた時、その顔を見たか？
見た。
面を上げよ、直江。暗き心を払う方を授けてやろう。深く息をし、今この刹那に心を研ぎ澄ませ。では、はじめ自然にゆるりとくつろいで息をせよ。無心だ、捨て去れ、直江。よし。抗わず受け入れよ。この時、この場を感じよ。放つのだ。気分はどうだ？
落ち着いて楽になった。
もう過去には縛られぬからだ。世がありのままに見えるようになったはず。さて、心が研ぎ澄まされた次は別のことに打ち込むぞ。桃地様と松もお前に手を貸してくれるそうだ。二人を見つけ、二人からも学べ。
おとう、信じてくれてありがとう。
いつでも信じておる。これからもずっとな。
All right, so that is a fair representation of the amount of sort of cutscene work that went into this game. And so, yeah, I think it's, while I did try to skip a lot of the stuff at the beginning because it was very, very long, I think it's good to get a sense of how much storytelling goes on in sort of a linear way. Though you'll notice they did let me make one decision about Naue, and I've been trying to play Naue as in character as I can, and she does tend to be a little bit like insecure about her fears. She wants to look tough. She wants people to, to trust her and think that she's capable of more than she maybe is in her youth. And so, blaming it on the cold instead of admitting that she was having traumatic nightmares felt in character for her. I loved that I made that decision and then my father chided me for it. Like, I don't know, it just felt like I was really interacting with the game, with the story in a meaningful way there. But it didn't take a lot. I wasn't, it's not like this is a game with a branching story and it's like, it's all procedural and you're choosing what to do. No, this is a story about a particular person and how their life played out. But like the minor choices that I make still feel like they're, I'm not just making empty choices. My people do have a reaction to them, and I'm getting just enough to feel like I'm participating rather than just watching something, which is nice. So this is Auntie Matsu. She is kind of my mentor, almost as much as my father.
どこに行っておったんじゃ。
このところ忙しゅうてな。
まあ、ここしばらくでずいぶんと立派になって。初陣なぞよほど勇ましくなくては生きては帰れまい。
自信はなかったが、 桃地様はよう叩こうたと言うてくださった。
お前ならできると思うておった。胸を張れ。今わしらは生き残ることに必死じゃ。先祖の残した家電の巻物を手にな。どの忍びの家にも秘伝はあるものじゃからの。
そうじゃな。
巻物の教えは必ず役に立つ。されどまずは手に入れねば。わしのはよそに預けておる。うちの床下はもう他の秘密でいっぱいでな。
預けたとはどこに？
神主のところじゃ。行け。先人からしかと学ぶがよい。
この冬は覚えているどの冬よりも厳しかった。もっと強くならねばな。
So one thing that's worth appreciating, so the first conversation, the one that I had with my father, was a proper cinematic. Like somebody animated that entire thing in detail. But that conversation I just had with Antimatsu was, I think that was probably just put together by a mission designer. You know, they just had characters standing there talking to each other. They probably had a really consistent set of tools for making a conversation like that happen, where the cameras get placed, the distance they stand away from each other, and probably some kind of way of marking up the lines to show what emotions the faces should express while they're talking. I think it's worth appreciating that this was that part of it was probably made very, very cheaply. Like the individual didn't have to spend a lot of time on it. There wasn't, there was probably no custom animation that went into it whatsoever. I guess I could probably talk over because we're speaking different languages, so they don't interfere with each other quite as much as if she was speaking English. But anyway, but it still looked pretty good. There was a moment where she subtly widened her eyes in excitement. And that felt like a level of subtlety to those kinds of, because usually people will make like a bunch of generic animations for dialogue sequences like that you want a mission designer to be able to put together on their own without involving an animator. And, and they'll be like very broad emotions, things just like, they're happy, they're sad, they're angry, and you'll kind of see these very ham-fisted performances from the characters. And, these scenes are sort of naturally... Oh, something bad's happening. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Those scenes are naturally a little bit wooden, because it's not like the characters are walking around each other, acting like you would on a theater stage. But usually, you'll expect sort of like some almost like pantomime emotional animations. But they had some really subtle emotional animations available to whoever put that dialogue scene together. And I don't know, it just feels like that. It feels like the standard of implementation for this game is higher than in your typical game, where people have access to options and animations to put together a scene like that they wouldn't normally have in another game. In another game, you might say, like, well, we only have time to make, 4 emotionally expressive animations, so pick the 4 you need and use them for everything. This one, it seems like they were given a much, sort of broader palette to work with. Okay, looks like we got some bad guys. Not too many of them, though. Okay, one of them has isolated himself. They really focus, by the way, in trying to give you the tools of an assassin and to try to not just say, and now you have a combat scene. Like, they try to give you occasions where the initiative is in your hands. These guys are not extremely observant, but I'm not complaining. Oh, unfortunately, I'm not yet an assassin. That's right, I'm earlier in my history. I haven't been given the Assassin's Blade yet. Okay, so what you saw there was a little example of the combat in this game. I've got a few options at my disposal. Of course, I've got some light attacks and some heavy attacks like you'd expect. Both of them, though, have a held option, where you get into a posture and then attack. and that's used to break blocks. It takes some time. You have to find the right moment to do it. But it feels very appropriate to sort of the cinematic Japanese combat styles that it's representing. And then you can parry, which I can't demonstrate without an incoming attack, and you can dodge. And I've got a skill unlocked where if I dodge with perfect timing, I can get in sort of a free, really powerful attack on the enemy afterwards. I wonder, are there more people up here? Yes, there are. So if I hold the left trigger and I look around, it'll automatically mark the characters, and it looks like there's a point of interest for my mission up in there. Oh wait, why is he beating up? Why are they beating each other up? That's weird. This guy looks like a bad boss. Here, attack me. Oops, missed. Oh, I missed. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Fine. I'm gonna see if I can successfully parry the next guy. Hey, excuse me. There we go. When they highlight yellow, that means that you have successfully countered them, either with a dodge or with a parry. And as a result, you can have your way with them for a sec.
あれがその巻物か。あった。松尾ババが言っとった家電の巻物じゃ。まさかおばばの家にも秘伝があったとはな。ありがたく学ばせてもらおう。
I love that right after sort of dealing with the trauma of having killed a couple of guys in my first battle, I just killed 6 bandits on my own. Like, whatever. Oh, by the way, my health bar at the bottom left, I can refill that with rations. And typically after sort of a random combat scene, you'll just automatically heal all the way up. I think because I'm in the middle of sort of a very mission-focused area, it's not giving me that sort of auto heal at the end of an encounter. I'm wondering, can I summon Kiri in this? Yes, I can. She was already my horse at this young age. I do like that I sort of automatically get up on the horse and start moving in the same direction I was moving before. Ah, I'm not doing well. Okay. Fumbling my horse. Can we jump this? Sure we can. Oh, yeah. Oh, jump everything. Jump everything, horse. This horse is also an assassin. Sorry, I think I should try to make the game look more cinematic and not be fumbling on my horse.
稽古は終わったのか。
今日の分はの。じゃが学ぶことはもっとあるんじゃろ。
まだ序の口ぞ。幾年分もの遅れを取り戻さねば、その覚悟があるか。
あります。
Naue is a sociopath. By the way, she's only killed like 2 people, and now she's killed 6 more. And she doesn't report it to her father at all. Instead, she's just suddenly over the moon happy. She was unhappy before, but now that she's killed 6 men, she is just so enthusiastic. Oh, hey, look, I've leveled up. Cool. Let's see what we can do with that. I think mastery is where we want to go. Yeah, so it's hiding behind me, but right here it says that I've got 1 skill point that I can spend. So I've got a few different categories here. I've got Shinobi, which, breathing. Oh, interesting. So I can breathe underwater longer, or not breathe, but you know what I mean. I can stay underwater longer. Just damage with abilities by 2%. That doesn't feel like anything that increases something by 2%. I have trouble getting enthusiastic about in a video game. Give me chunkier improvements. Okay, so here I've got tools that I can learn to use. So I've already got kunai, which are like little knife type things that I can throw. Oh, quick throw. So I can just automatically... Oh, okay, so LT and RT throw at a target, but LT and RB just auto-throw at nearby people. That kind of does make it more useful. We'll think about that one. Let's look at the katana. I've already unlocked the sort of the dodging counterattack. And let's see here. Yeah, 2%. Nah. An extremely fast strike that deals 25% ability damage and makes the enemy vulnerable. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's do Tidal Wave. Oh, and so that means that now I've got an ability on my D-pad, which I was introduced to when I was Yasuke at the very beginning of the game, but I haven't used anything like that as Naoe. I think it becomes an option. Yeah, when I hold the left trigger, it becomes an option. Oh wait! Oh! Hey, stop it! Stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! Okay, so that guy thought he saw something. So now that I'm not in the cutscene anymore, I am a proper assassin. So I think that guy was like a bandit or something. That's why we murdered him. Let's see who else is a bad guy. Everyone. Everyone's a bad guy. So occasionally I will encounter groups of enemies who are all fighting each other, and yet as soon as I attack one of them, they are all hostile to me, which is strange, and I'm not sure exactly what those are depicting. Oh, look at that. I think it was just because I was at a slightly off angle to that guy. I did a different animation for taking him down. Okay, yeah, so I believe the context of this is these are a bunch of bandits who took down some kind of merchant cart or something like that. So I've just collected a bunch of resources. Those are used to upgrade my base, my hideout, my operation back at home. I gotta say, by the way, they are making brilliant use of this controller. This has always been kind of a strength of the Assassin's Creed franchise, trying to figure out how to assign things on a controller so that they get the most out of it. And, like, they have so many different things that I can do. And they've managed to sort of make buttons on the controller sort of share space with each other, make functions share space on the buttons really, really well. Like, you know, they've got a lot of, like, you know, you hold a trigger to make something possible, to change what another button does. You've got a lot of that stuff, but I feel like they've done it in a way that I find it intuitive, and it can be very, very difficult to get something like that right. So for me so far, like, I've learned how to do a lot of different things, and I haven't forgotten any of them yet, which, you know, I mean, I just started playing this yesterday, so I think maybe if there was a bunch of time in between my playthroughs, in between my sessions, it might be a little bit more problematic, but for right now, it's feeling pretty intuitive. Because, like, you know, the left trigger is how I aim, but the left trigger is also how I unlock a whole bunch of other functions at the same time, which makes sense. You know, like, this isn't a game with guns where you have to be aiming down the sights or something like that, or you have this very close-in aim. And so that means that the mode, when I hold the left trigger like this, the mode doesn't change that much. And so, like, even though, yeah, I can be throwing kunai and things like that in this mode, it doesn't have to be exclusively about throwing things. It can also be about using special abilities, that sort of thing. Okay, so this is a little town. Let me see, are there any, like, little points of interest that I'm missing here? How close am I to my destination? Oh, looks like we've got... Oh, there's a shrine. Actually, let's stop and pay respects at a shrine. What that gives you is just a very sort of a short-lived benefit. Kind of, it's almost like a consumable or something like that. But I'm not sure where the shrine is. Will it tell me if I eagle vision it? No. Oh, but there is something over here. Looks like somebody's got a box of rations in their house. Excuse me, can I come and borrow a snack from you? Thanks. Oh, my rations are full. Never mind, I don't need to get a snack from you. It's okay. Oh, by the way, one ability that I have that it keeps sort of teasing at me, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. There it is. I've got a grappling hook that I can use to climb buildings. It only works in certain spots, and detecting those spots, figuring out where they are, can be a little bit challenging. But let me look here. Okay, so there's no like Eagle Mountain. Oh, over here there is one. I should come back here at some point. A viewpoint. That's what I'm looking for. There's no viewpoint thing here. But where is... Okay, so it looks like I am on top of the shrine right now. So this is the shrine. This does not have one of those hay bales. And that door doesn't open. What door does open? This one? Nope, not a door. Not a door. I just destroyed a brazier. Cool. Huh. Well, I thought if it was marked as a shrine, then I would be able to use... I've run into shrines before that I could interact with, and they would give me benefits. But it looks like this is not one of those. Unless maybe it is just a nearby building and I haven't identified it properly. Because it would be weird if I've run into a bunch of things called shrines, or at least that I think were called shrines, that gave me a gameplay benefit. And this is identified on the map as a shrine, but it's not actually functionally a shrine? That may well be the case. Let me look at the map one more time. Okay, I am facing it now. Yeah, it seems like this building here is meant to be the shrine, but it's not a functional shrine. They've just marked it on the map. Unless I'm just missing something. I could easily be missing something here. Or maybe this entire area is the shrine, and there is just one point of interaction somewhere. Or maybe that icon doesn't mean this is an interactive shrine. Maybe that icon just means, hey, this is a town thing. Wait. Found it! I found it! It's over here. How far away is this from the icon? Pretty far away from the icon. All right. So what I would probably suggest, if there is a small functional bit in a very large area, I'd put the icon on the functional bit, or put the functional bit under the icon. But whatever, let's pray. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, I'm misunderstanding something. That was one of 3. There are 3 little shrines scattered across this area. Okay, my criticism was withdrawn. I just didn't understand how this was intended to work. So I'm supposed to does that look like anything under Eagle Vision? Certainly not right now. So are there going to be 3 more on these grounds? Or 2 more, I guess, 3 total. And also, why am I spending my time on this when I could be sword fighting? Good questions. These are all very good questions. Yeah, I might want to come back and go hunting for shrines a little bit later. I'm just gonna look around real briefly in this area here. Yeah, I don't think I'm finding them. Or then again, maybe I'm still misinterpreting it. Maybe these other 2 shrines would be... Oh, wait, no. Here's another one, right? Is it? Is this another one? Is it? It sure looks like one, but I'm not getting an interaction. How do things work? Wait. Oh, weird. So this one is a shrine, but the other one isn't? Or do I have to do them in a certain order? Will I look back at the other one and it will be a functional shrine? Okay, no. Okay, come on, level designer. Give me a break. Okay, at least I've identified what shrines look like. This is going to drive me nuts now. It will be very sad if that third shrine that is non-interactive is actually meant to be the shrine and it's just broken. That will be a sad time. I don't think that's likely to be the case. This feels like the kind of thing that would be on somebody's test plan to check out every single time they do a new build of the game. Do all the shrines work? But yeah, I feel like I've been everywhere now. And it's very, very odd to have three things that I've found. 2 of them have worked, 1 of them doesn't, and it says I'm missing one. It does feel like that third shrine must be the shrine they intended me to get, and there's something broken about it. It's hard for my brain to accept another explanation because I haven't found the third shrine in any other form. What is wrong with you, shrine? Be functional. Okay, no, I'm gonna have to scuttle this, right? I can't just spend the rest of this episode running around in circles trying to find shrines. That's not what you're here for. I can't do it. Oh, but it's gonna drive me nuts that I haven't found the third shrine. Of course, okay. Maybe it's temporarily broken. Maybe if I come back later, things will be different. So we're just gonna, like, grit our teeth. Let's have a look at our map. Okay, so there's some kind of thing over here that I'm interested in. If I turn right at this crossroads, there's something interesting over here as well, an undiscovered location. My actual objective is over here. I think I'm going to turn right because I think that's more likely to take me to my actual objective. And it looks like there's like a mission type thing this way. I can come back later in my own time and explore question marks on the map. And missing shrines.
足を止めてくれてありがたい。この辺は野党が出て人気がないからの。
悪さをしておるのか。
誰彼構わずな。ここで放牧しとるから周りで起こることはよく見える。物はなくなり、人は付け狙われる。家畜も殺され、次はわしかもしれん。
ならばここで見張っておく。野党が出たら止めてやろう。
それはなんとありがたい。皆も喜ぶじゃろう。
So is that just setting up the fact that there are bandits? Oh, now I've got a new quest. Kill the bandits in Setsu. Okay, I tried to hit the button for that, and it didn't work. Yeah, I don't know even what this is. Let me hit my normal button here. Okay, objectives. So is there a new objective? Ah, people of Setsu here. So this guy wants me to go after some bandits. And there's like 3 places where there are bandits. Is this something that shows up in the world? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think it shows up in the world even if I don't have it marked. I only see... Oh, there's another one way up here. Okay, so if I want to go back... Wait, no, that's just a dog. That's just some dog. Okay, I'll have to go back for the dog at some point. Okay, so I've got 2 bandits here. I don't have a third one. Maybe the third one shows up later. Or maybe this game has a general problem with offering me 3 objectives and only marking 2 of them. I don't know, but they do seem to be in my way. On my way to go see Kyonyo. So we're going... I'm saying see Kyonyo like my goal is to murder Kyonyo. So let's head this direction. I'm assuming I'm going the right direction. Actually, I'm not assuming that. Okay, yeah, so one group of them, they're both across this canal. One is up ahead to the right, and the other one's along the canal to the left. I do like the fact that I have not marked it, because I kind of like tracking it down on
平
my
次は
own.
鍛冶屋のあたりにおると富は言うとったのだ。
Oh. Right. So kakuregas are places where you run scouts for your operation. Whoa. Got some thugs. Oh, we got all kinds of bad people here. They just don't realize that I'm as bad as they are.
あれが平次か。揉め事に巻き込まれとる。人目を避
Oh, yikes. Well, you know what I should do? I should use my special ability. Nope, I don't have it. Why do I not have it? Okay, I thought I remembered how those worked. Oh, it's the right trigger, it's not the left trigger. Okay. All that talk about how I was really happy with how they'd set up the controls and I remembered them all. I don't remember them all. Do I have the ability? I can collect something. It's stone. What I want is to replenish my heals.
平次か。
Oh, here we
お
go.
前やり返さんのじゃな。
わしは職人だ。人は傷つけん。
殺されたかもしれんぞ。
ああ、おそらくな。
大抵の者は助かると喜ぶんじゃがな。
ああ、わしは心が欠けとるからな。
崖取る？
わしの親は夫婦でこの火事場を開き、タバコ包丁を作っとった。堺一と重宝されたよ。だが二人は殺され、わしは心が欠け、包丁を作れんようになった。
無念であったな、平次。実は富に話を聞いてきたんじゃが。
何？富には借りがあるんだ。
なら摂津で富や私の力になってほしい。借りもそれで帳消しとなろう。欠けた心も直す術が見つかるやもしれん。
ここに未練はない。荷物をまとめ、すぐそこへ行くとしよ
よし、待っておるぞ。
Okay, so yeah, so I can find resources and contracts at Kutara. I'm still trying to figure out how a lot of this stuff works, but it looks like I've just obtained a blacksmith for my base, which will be useful in many ways, I imagine. All right, we are still surrounded by bad guys. I don't know if these are the thugs that I'm looking for. Let me have a look at the map again. Oh, it looks like Way of the Blacksmith. Okay, so back at my home, I can build a forge now that I've got a blacksmith. So I do like that it's finding people and meeting characters that sets me up to be able to have different capabilities at my place. So, okay, so it looks like I have dealt with... That group was one of the groups of bandits that I needed to deal with. And it looks like there is another down that way. And, oh, Sakai Firearm District. Interesting. So I wonder, can I scout other objectives? Let me have a look at this. Okay, no, I have not been rewarded for any of these things. I assumed that I was going down there to find bandits, but maybe those were different. Oh, maybe that was different. Okay, so here, let me try tracking this. How do I track this? Do I... Okay, there we go. Okay, let's say... Oh, okay. So this is not 3 groups of bandits. This is 3 numbers of bandits. It's 25, 50, and 100 bandits. So, and I'm not even, am I, like, what is Setsu? Oh, okay, so Setsu is this entire area, right? Is that right? If Setsu is this entire area, then I just need to kill bandits generally. There's not a location for killing bandits, and I don't know what this is. This is searching Sakai. Is that one of the objectives, to find the other target? Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, since I'm here in Sakai, why don't we switch targets? So instead of going after this guy, instead of going after the wounded, let's go after the golden Teppo. I think a Teppo's a kind of rifle or rifle person. I'm not exactly sure. All right. I've looted one healing option here. I'm going to assassinate this guy. Oh, that was one that I had to dodge. So if I did that perfectly, I would get... Oh, okay, I tried to dodge and it didn't respond. Okay, there we go. Let's try our special move. Oh, no, it didn't work. Ah, crap, I got killed. I'm still learning this combat system, so give me some patience here. What I was trying to do is like figure out how to smoothly work my new ability in, but I had to like stop and read the UI, and it's right trigger Y. That's how I do it. So let's see how far back it sends me. I'm assuming it's going to send me back to the end of my conversation with Heiji. I'm betting that was an autosave. But we'll see. Sometimes I'm surprised by where I go back to. All right. Okay, good. I've still got one heal. And what does this person have on their body? Oh, another ration. Okay, good. Wait a minute. Is this door? Okay, the door just got closed. Oh, now there's 3 of these guys. I still feel like I owe these guys a murder or 2. That was pretty effective. Dang. These guys are very good. I do like how their hats disappear when you've broken through their armor. Okay, that did... It often feels in this game like I hit the dodge button or I hit the parry button in time, but my character wasn't able to parry or dodge in time. I think that's because on the spectrum from a Souls-like to a God of War game, this is somewhere in the middle where it is more responsive than a Souls-like, but not quite as responsive as a God of War style game. And so I keep having this assumption that as long as I've got the button down before their attack hits, then I should successfully parry or I should successfully dodge. But that's not the case. My character actually has to start executing the move. And if my character's in the middle of something else and isn't immediately responding, then it's not going to work. Then my dodge is not going to happen. So, oh, now there's only one guy. They're like, hey, you can't handle this. Okay, I thought there was just one guy. Dang it. Yeah, you see, I was like, because I was mid-swing there, I couldn't, oh, there's even more guys now. I couldn't parry because I was mid-swing. Oh, gosh. And it get stabbed from behind. This is an inessential battle. The reason I'm doing this is because I need to get better at this combat system. So I think I might have the volume set a little bit loud on the game. I'm going to pull it back a bit. So yeah, before I try to do something important, I need to be able to handle a normal thing, right? By the way, I appreciate the fact that the game is not putting up a message saying, do you want to try playing at a lower difficulty level? Because screw that. No, I'm going to get good at this difficulty level. It just might take me a second. All right, so nobody has got loot this time. It's weird how the loot just sort of randomly spawns each time they bring this back. This time there's no loot. Okay, so we got two guys there, one guy there, and one guy further away. And I am definitely gonna murder a guy. Okay, I just took a hit while I was holding the parry button. So I gotta really think about this. Like, okay, so maybe what I need to do is deliberately not attack. Like, wait for them to attack me and then do a follow-up. Crap. Okay. I think you just watched me learn how to play the game in real time. And notice my health is now recharging. This is a random fight. And so they're not making me just run around wounded for the rest of my life. Okay, so the way that you play this game, and actually, this is very, very reminiscent of the way that Japanese fighting styles play out, at least in cinema, which is that the characters are usually, they square off, they consider each other, and making the first move is a huge part of the strategy. Okay. Oh, I do not want to deal with these guys if I can help it. Yeah, let's let these guys pass by. That guy looks big and tough. But yeah, so what I need to do is not go in very aggressively, attack, 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 never stop attacking, and then only dodge like or parry when I see I see a warning, react to the warning, but otherwise always be attacking. Because if I'm doing that, I will be mid attack when it's time to parry or when it's time to dodge, and I'll fail. The strategy of this game is watch for their attacks, don't attack them until they have made the first move and made themselves vulnerable. Then you counter their attack, and then your attack can basically hit a soft target. So that's what I need to be doing, and that's what we've learned by practicing. So great, here we go.
金の飾りがついた鉄砲を探しとるのだが。
金でなきゃダメか？混じりけない丹波の銀がある。腕のいい細工師を紹介しよう。安くしとくぞ。
いや、金でなくてはならん。
なあ、金より銀にしなって。
ここでは見つからんの。
Okay, so one of the assassins that I'm looking for revenge against, and by assassins I don't mean they're actually not part of the assassins like actual guild. They're just people who, you know, did some bad things and killed some people. They're probably Templars, but anyway, one of them had a rifle that was inlaid with gold, and so I'm trying to look for who even makes rifles like that. Nobody does that.
金で飾られた鉄砲を探しとるんだ。
なんでそんなものを？よく当たるようになるわけじゃなし。
献上用で。
すまんね。そういうのは職人に聞いとくれ。
All right.
鉄砲はあるか？
猫も杓子も鉄砲だが、やっぱり刀が一番さ。どうだい、見てかないかい。
それは間に合うとる。
堺の上等な鋼を使った刀じゃよ。
All right. Nobody here seems to have what I'm looking for. Wait, what am I hearing? Eavesdrop. Ooh, eavesdrop.
この偽の書状がありゃ出世は間違いなしじゃ。今井早急とお近づきになって社会にも招かれるかもしれんぞ。
たわけ。早急の息子はわしを知っとる。突如書状が信長様から届き、肥前の南蛮人に銀の延べ棒30本、織田軍に種子島一式のご用意を申し使ったなどと言うても信じまい。
大丈夫じゃ。この偽の印、信長様とて気づかんべきじゃぞ。
いくら堺とはいえ、怪しい商いの匂いがする。
この嘘が知れたら、わしは商いから締め出される。
I'm not quite sure how this ties in, but we'll see.
何者だ。
もしや今池の方か。
アホ抜かせ。兄者がわめくのを聞きつけて、そこらの小僧殿が寄ってきたんじゃ。
I don't know who the Imai are, so I'm gonna go with my name is not important.
誰であろうと関わりない。おとなしくその書状を渡し、この件は忘れろ。
書状じゃと。はて何の話やら。
Can do this the hard way. Let's just say I heard everything.
聞いていたのが私一人でよかったな。書状を渡さねば、次は早急様の耳に入るぞ。
早急様には言わんでくれ。書状は渡す。
待て。聞いたのはこいつだけだろう。なら黙らせちまえばいい。おいおい。ただでやってたまるか。いいか。欲しいなら銭をもらう。500文じゃ。
Do I even have 500? Yeah, I don't think I have that.
手持ちはないので、また後でな。
Oh, I'm gonna offer to get it?
他の客に売ってしまうぞ。
案ずるな。見合ったものをくれてやる。
この嘘が知れたら、わしは商いから締め出される。偽物作りで銭を無駄にしたな。
I don't even know how to tell how much Mullen I have. Is it in my inventory? I have 190. Yeah, that's gonna be too slow.
それで金は持ってきたか。
私の辛抱を試しておるようだが、もう待てん。メイドの土産に殺しに生きる忍びの技を味わってみるか。
They just ran away? What? Am I chasing them? What's happening? Where did they... Where am I going? Well, okay, this is not a way through. Ah! No! Also not a way through. Okay. Okay. Lots and lots of dead ends. Well, I'm glad he cowered and waited for me. I just murdered someone in the street. It's fine.
それに金の鉄砲を持つ女子を探すためにも使えるかもしれん。
Okay, so apparently an Imai is some kind of, I don't know, feudal lord or something like that. And so now I've got... Okay, Kyonyo's still down there. I've got an objective somewhere to talk to that guy. Okay, he's in Western Setsu, Southwestern Sakai. So if I scout the objective, I mean, it's probably here. Let's scout the objective and say we're going to dispatch a scout out here to find him. Ah, here we go. All right, so now we know he's somewhere in this area. Unfortunately, I don't have a mini-map, so it's a little bit difficult for me to sort of judge where I am relative to that big old bubble. I think I'm in it now. But I don't know how to... I mean, okay, this is a purpley house. Could this be an important place? No, looks like it's some kind of tradesman's place. Looks like there's a lot of purpley things here. Okay, so I've left the area now. Okay, so yeah, now I'm inside it again. Let me look at the map again and see. So I should have just... Yeah, I've just entered the edge of the search area. And I should find in my Sokyu somewhere in here. Hi, I'm pushing random buttons. I don't know what anything does. All right. Okay, so I can actually go further in this direction. I wonder if I get close. Is it gonna... Is that a new kind of dog? Dogs are collectibles in this game. However, I can't pet this one, so... Alright, I've left the area again. Is there a way for me to... Oh, wait. I forgot to murder that guy. Alright. Let me try Eagle Vision. Sometimes you'll get like a little blue indicator when something plot or objective relevant is there. Where am I relative to the bubble? I'm on the edge, and most of it's to my left. I wonder, if I get close enough to him, will he... Okay, there's bad guys. If I get close enough to him, will he show up? Could he be hanging out in this lovely park area full of bamboo? Oh, look, a shrine. This one works. So I've got a temporary little benefit from that. By the way, you can chop bamboo. It is interesting how right now how little I'm motivated to be spending all my times on the rooftops. Like in most of my past memories of Assassin's Creed games, I'm spending all my time up here avoiding people. But I feel like I'm much more motivated by the way this game works to spend my time in the streets. Like people don't recognize me. People don't immediately see me as an enemy. Guards just walk right by me. Like I can just sort of blend in wherever. And that actually makes me more like a historical ninja, you know, who were just spies. Like they weren't usually running around, you know, black clad, hiding in the shadows, throwing knives at people. Most of what they did was regular spy work. And that's what I actually spend a lot of my time doing too. However, this is taking too much time for... Okay, again, I have no idea why I ended up on that screen. That screen's weird. I don't know what it's for. Yeah, I think whatever I'm supposed to do here, it's going to take me too long. So let's move back down to our original mission, which is to go find Kyonyo. I will spend my own time later on figuring out where this guy is that I would talk to about a gold inlaid teppo. And I'm going to head over here to see what I can learn about the wounded dude. By the way, there is a deer infestation in Japan in this game. There are deer everywhere. Just deer in everyone's backyards, deer on the street, deer in the mountains, deer in the forest. There are so many deer. This place is just nasty with deer. Okay, it looks like some of these are bad guys and some of these aren't. Should I get involved? Probably.
Namu Amidabu.
話を聞くにもまず助立ちせね
Ah, get out of my face! Yeah, this guy's in trouble. I should probably consider surrendering. All right. So wait, maybe I was misremembering whose name was what. Maybe Kyonyo is not the guy I'm hunting. Maybe Kyonyo is some other guy that I was told to talk to. That's probably the case. Yep.
火星を待っておられたのですか
半ば諦めながらな。我が父の頃は何千と駆けつけたものだが方々に書状を送ったが返事はなし。現れたのはお主のみだ。わしは今日に
直江と申します。書状を見てはおりませんが勘が働きここに。
なんであれ助太刀には助けられた。 我らの本山である本願寺は焼け落ちてしもうた。我らは10年も織田信長と戦うた。だが父はしまいに奴と和睦し、ほとんどの門徒を連れ退いてしもうた。
ここにいる者が残るすべてと。
信長は羽柴秀吉に命じ、我らの大切な本山に城を建てさせようとしておる。我らの領地にだ。わしは諦めなかったがゆえに親子の縁を切られた。されど織田信長との戦いをやめるつもりは毛頭ない。
そやつは私の家も焼いた。
ゆえに参った。
いえ、父を殺めた者が盗んだ箱を必ず取り戻すと生前に約束したゆえ、その糸口を得ようと。
父に託された願いか。わしはそれに背き全てを失うた。
堺におるらしき片耳をなくした男を追っております。何かご存知ではないかと。
片耳か。信長はこの一帯を制すると、後の始末を悪辣非道の将に任せた。和田これだけだ。一つ耳の鬼と近頃は呼ばれておる。関わりがあるよな。
一つ耳、その鬼が父を殺めたに違いない。
秦から道義に外れた男だ。古くより伝わる像を奪い壊し寺を焼いた。無論それらは物に過ぎず、何を焼かれたとて仏道は消えぬ。されど我らが上人様のご尊像、500年もの歩みを一つ耳の悪鬼が踏みにじったのだ。
ならば追い詰めるまで。
追うは至難の技。和田の後には首を切られるか焼かれるか、または首を切られ焼かれた屍しか残らぬ。だがお主がおれば風向きが変わるのやもしれぬ。
逃げんとする残兵を捕らえました。京女様、生かせば何かに使えたはずかと。
これだけの手下の虫けらなど話を聞くまでもない。
されど問答無用に切らずとも。
直江、これはやや父のもとで戦い、父と同じくわしを見捨てたものだ。
またそのような火星がいると聞き戻った次第。
私も和田これだけを探す仲間にお加えください。
兵女様と望みなき道を行く者がまた一人。
お味方するのはこれだけを討つため。それに私の父も生きておる限り望みはあると言うておりました。
わしを信じてくれる者もおるようだぞ。
破滅への道をわざわざ選ぶとは。他の残兵が七つ松に首切り人がおると、そやつが和田の居場所を知っておるやもな。しかし七つ松は私も知っておりますが、無事戻った者はおりませぬ。小娘が一人行くようなところでは。
直江の戦いぶりを見ておらぬからそういうのだ。だが味方は必要だ。わずかな一騎衆を率いる元順という者が布引きの滝におる。力を貸してくれるやもしれぬ。
わかりました。早速そのように。
川のそばに家がある。そこで落ち合おう。
Oh, and we've got an achievement. The Warrior Monk for meeting Yaya. Okay, so we've been doing this for well over an hour, and we've hit an important part of the story. We even got an achievement for it. So I think that maybe we've done enough for this episode. Let me know if you'd like to see more, though. Like I said, Assassin's Creed games, the way that they're paced, the fact that, you know, sometimes investigating something can take a very long time. They're not the kind of game that I usually, play a ton of on my channel. But if you'd like to see more of this game, maybe I can pop in a little bit later in my progression and see what's up. But hopefully I've given you at least a taste of how this game works, you know, what's interesting about it. And also, along the way, I learned how the combat actually works. Because when I came into this, I did not know how to play the combat. I was playing it the way that I play a lot of the, something like Hades. Hades is very much like on my wavelength, because it's just, you just attack, 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 attack. Oh, something to dodge. Dodge it, quick. Attack, attack. Dodge, dodge, And this one is not like that. This one, you want to go into it with a little bit more of a contemplative attitude, watching them, letting them act first, and then responding. And once I got that, I got much better at the combat. Still need to get better than I am, but I got instantly much better at the combat once I understood what I was doing. So hopefully, that's been useful. And and I hope that this game, does well. So far, I've been very, very impressed with how it's come together, its production values, its design choices. Even when I struggled with them a little bit, there's always something, so far anyway, there's always been something good for me to discover at the end of that struggle. So let's wrap this up. There's my subscribe button, and if I come back and I do another Assassin's Creed Shadows video, I'll put it there, but probably not immediately because I've got so many other games to play.